Hello and welcome everyone. This is a brief video guide on how to use a sub-account and how to use them to your benefit. All accounts on Deribit use crossed margin when determining margin allocation to a position. This means that all the equity in the account will be used as margin for positions if necessary, and all positions share that same pool of equity. Further, the entire balance of the account is potentially at risk if a leveraged position goes against a trader. It is very common for traders to wish to partition both their trading funds and positions so that it's not all exposed to the same risk. They may wish to separate different strategies, use automated trading software for some of their trading, or keep funds assigned to only certain positions or manage their risk assigned to each position or portfolio. Fortunately, Deribit has an extremely useful feature to assist traders who wish to do this. Within your Deribit account, it is possible to create many sub-accounts, allowing our clients the opportunity to partition their account as their trading strategy requires. You can access each of these sub-accounts via the drop-down table when you click or tap your username in the top right of the UI, or from the sub-account tab after clicking My Account. You can transfer funds from the main account to the sub-accounts and vice versa, but they are treated completely separately for equity, balance, and position purposes. It's important to note that any losing positions on one account does not affect any of the other accounts. This also applies to liquidations or, heaven forbid, even negative equity. A liquidation in one account or sub-account will not have any effect at all on the positions or balances in any of the other sub-accounts. As sub-accounts are treated as completely separate accounts, you can use the transfer function to move funds back and forth or between a sub-account and the corresponding main account. This can be done by navigating to the Transfer tab on the account page. These transfers are instant and free. Please note the Transfer tab is different to the Withdrawal tab. If you try to transfer funds to a sub-account from the main account using the Withdrawal tab, it will not be free and will be much slower. This is due to the transfer function being an internal function while the Withdrawal tab uses the blockchain. Sub-accounts cannot withdraw funds to external wallets. However, they do have their own deposit address, so funds can be deposited directly into the sub-account from external sources. Now that we've briefly covered the applications of sub-accounts, let's go over how to create a sub-account. To get started, go to the top right corner and click My Account. This will take you to the account page, which has several different section tabs that can be clicked and selected. Choose the one that says Sub-Accounts. Once on the Sub-Accounts page, you will see an Add New Sub-Account button on the top right. Click this and a new sub-account will be created. The details of the new account will be displayed in the table on the Sub-Accounts page, and you can also see it listed in the top right menu under the main account. And that's it. You've just created a sub-account. Easy, right? If you need another one, simply click the button again. Once you have at least one sub-account created, you can select which account you're in by clicking next to the relevant account on the sub-accounts page or in the top right menu. As we mentioned, it is possible to transfer funds between the main account or sub-accounts instantly and at no cost. To do this, click your username for the drop-down menu on the top right. Click the Transfer tab and the transfer page will be displayed like so. And then let's select the sub-account you wish to transfer funds to. We can use the sub-account we just made. Enter the amount to transfer, then click Transfer. The funds will then move from the main account to the sub-account. For those developing their own software solutions, it is also possible to execute these transfers via the API. You can see more detail on this in the API documentation here. A link will be in the description below. All sub-accounts are always accessible from the main account, but it is possible to set up separate login details that allow access to just the sub-account. This will be useful for companies that wish to give employees access to only trade on a specific sub-account, for example, without them having access to the main account, other sub-accounts, or withdrawals. This can be used to a client's advantage, as it prevents someone who only has access to the sub-account, for example an employee, from moving funds to an account outside of the control of the main account. To change these settings, you must be logged in to the main account. Once in the main account and on the Subaccounts page, click the Show Details button next to the relevant account and you will see some options like this. Here you can change the email address associated with the account, the name of the account or nick. This is the name that will appear on the Subaccounts list and in the top right menu. Can log in to Subaccount. When enabled, allows separate login details to be set up that will only give access to this one subaccount. Once Subaccount login is enabled, you can then set a password and choose whether you would like the email address attached to the main account to also receive any emails related to the subaccount, such as login notifications and margin warnings. You can also set up two-factor authentication for the subaccount. It is advisable to always use 2FA when it's available, and not just on your Deribit accounts. When connecting to a subaccount via the API rather than logging in via the website, it is important to remember that each subaccount has its own API keys. These can be viewed by clicking the API tab on the account page. The API keys of the main account will not work for the subaccount. Likewise, testnet API keys cannot be used on the production or mainnet website and vice versa. To reiterate, one of the most useful features of subaccounts is the ability to isolate a position or a portfolio of positions and assign a specific amount of margin to be used only for that account. For example, if you have a group of positions that you only want to risk 0.5 BTC for, you can simply move 0.5 BTC to a subaccount and open the positions there. They are then isolated from any of your other accounts, both in terms of margin allocation and positions. Even if the main account has more funds in it, only the 0.5 BTC that was moved to the subaccount will be used to support the positions in that subaccount. In this way, you control the risk to your funds and the leverage used for your positions. To read more about the relationship between margin, leverage, and position size, take a look at our lesson on leverage and margin here. A link will be in the description below. In summary, subaccounts offer a convenient way to isolate single positions, whole portfolios, funds, and even access rights. With all subaccounts being accessible from the main account, everything can be run from the Deribit website with a single login if desired. You can quickly switch between subaccounts in the UI or manage them all through the API with the unique API keys. No matter how you choose to use them, you can be safe in the knowledge that losing positions and even bankruptcies on one subaccount will not have a negative effect on any of the other subaccounts. This provides our clients with the flexibility to manage their portfolio as they best see fit. You can also activate portfolio margin on a subaccount while keeping the main account, or other subaccounts, as a regular margin account. This allows our clients greater flexibility on the margin requirements that an individual position or portfolio entails, without requiring a second account. This was a basic summary on Deribit subaccounts. Thank you very much for watching.